Fiddle, I love you. You're blocking mama's light, okay? Thank you. What's up, fam? It's your girl, Biola Akani, here with a new YouTube video. Welcome back, fam, and for those who are new, it's a pleasure to have you. I don't want to waste any time, so let's get right into today's video. So, you want to be a 200-hour certified yoga instructor. You feel this calling to want to serve community in this way. That is an incredibly empowering space to be in, and that is an incredibly privileged call to receive. First things first, before we get into it, I want to say that being a yoga instructor is not an opportunity for us to show off our performative yoga skills, to show off all the fancy asana poses that we can do, to show that we are some guru or have some type of guru mindset, or that we're better or more advanced in our spiritual practice or spiritual journey than someone else. Absolutely not. If that is why you are wanting or desiring to be a yoga instructor, stop. Don't become a yoga instructor, because you are not going to be able to advance and hold space for people in a way that makes them feel included, that makes them feel welcomed, and makes them feel like they don't have to leave aspects of themselves out the door in order to come into your class. As yoga instructors, we have a huge responsibility to hold ourselves accountable to our own shadow, to our own biases, to our own stereotypes, and the things that we fall into, our own aversions. We have a huge responsibility to continue in our education so that we are evolving in our practice and committing to our personal practice, even as we continue to teach. And we have a huge responsibility to commit to our own self-examination and our own self-inquiry. I also call this self-study. Constantly inquiring with source within in order to refine your own mind so that your conscious is not weighed down with garbage and crap that you are then spouting out to your students, and you're pulling out all of those dense emotions and thoughts and processes through the practice of yoga so that you are sharing from a clear consciousness and palette. I will start it off by saying that if you are ready to make that level of commitment, then let's get right into it. These are the 5 things that you want to look for to find a highly skilled and non-performative 200-hour yoga teacher training, especially now that a lot of teacher trainings are going virtual. Also, stay to the very end because I have a little surprise for you at the end of this video, y'all. The first thing you want to look for when you're looking for a 200-hour yoga teacher training, and I will say 200 hours are the most basic teacher trainings. You're not going to get everything in a 200-hour yoga teacher training, so get that out of your mind. Be prepared to commit to your own continued education, knowing that your yoga journey is going to continue to progress. It's not going to stop at the 200 hours. But when you're looking for a 200-hour, the first thing you want to look for is a 200-hour certification program that has a very thorough understanding of the lineage and the history and a deep respect for the origins of the practice. There's a lot of yoga teacher trainings out there that you can tell they don't have a real grasp on the history, the lineage, the philosophy, or the origins of the practice. And so they're not able to share a non-performative lens. All they can offer you is asana. Asana being poses. All they can offer are the physical practices. And in order to avoid cultural appropriation, We need to have an understanding of the origins and the history and the philosophy of this practice in order to do it justice as we continue to extend and share it. So you want to thoroughly look at and vet these YTTs to see that they have a really thorough understanding of the lineage and the origins of yoga, and that the practice that they're sharing or within their program, they're really committed to extending that philosophy down to you as a student. Number 2, you want to find a yoga teacher training program that is non-performative. So that goes beyond just asana, which goes hand in hand with what I just said before. If you find a yoga teacher training that is super committed to the physicality, you're going to miss so much of the practice. Asana is only one of the 8 limbs of yoga. It's only one out of 8. In addition, you have the Bhagavad Gita. You have the sutras. You have so many other elements of philosophy that are expansive and rich, and pranayama and meditation that culminate this practice, that frame it, that they give it life. The movement, the asana, is one limb. It's one aspect. And you don't want to fall victim to a program, a YTT, that only focuses on the asana, because it's not prepping you as to how to really effectively hold space and apply the practice of yoga in your physical body beyond just the poses. At the end of the day, your 200-hour yoga teacher training is so that you can become a teacher, but that's a teacher to yourself first. And so you want to make sure that you are learning beyond asana so that there's constant evolution happening in your physical as well as your mental and your emotional body. Number 3, you want to make sure that the 200-hour yoga teacher training program you're looking at features highly skilled instructors and facilitators whose actions align with their words, or whose words align with their actions. So you want to vet them. You want to vet them. Look at the facilitators, look at the teachers involved, look at their Instagram, look at the words that they're saying, look at how they're living their life, and really vet to make sure that their words align with their actions, that they're living yoga. Their yoga is emblematic in how they live their lives. And it's really easy for you to see. Not in a judgmental way, not in a way where you are putting yoga in this box of pristine perfection. That is not reality. But more so in a way where they're living authentically to the words that they say. This is not an opportunity to judge or to criticize. That's yoga. That's not yoga. That's yoga. That's not yoga. That's not for you to say. It's for you to look and make sure the actions align with the words, and it resonates for you in a way that is how I want to live my life. That's the practice that I want to embody, so much that seeing it in them, I really feel the truth of that. That's what you want to look for. Make sure those 2 things line up, and it's emblematic of what you want to be embodying, right? There has to be some level of desirability in how they're living their lives and how they are applying the practice to their life. So many times we get a lot of yoga instructors who just do yoga as fancy postures. It's very performative, and they're very far removed from applying the practice of yoga off of that damn mat. And that's really easy to see if you vet them. Make sure you vet the facilitators and the people involved with the program that you desire to be in. Number 4, make sure that the YTT program you're looking at folds in anti-racism and inclusion training. This day and age, and I don't know why it's taken this long for YTTs or yoga teacher training programs to have this component within the training. It's pretty ridiculous. However, make sure you're looking for a teacher training program that includes anti-racism work and inclusion so that you can become aware of your own biases and your own stereotypes, your own aversions, your own blind spots when it comes to race, when it comes to ageism, when it comes to ableism, all of these things that you're not aware of, so that you can hold truly inclusive space. What I mean by that is that you can really honor different lived experiences that come into your practice. Not everyone has to look the same in order for you not to feel uncomfortable teaching them. That's your responsibility as an instructor. And the more you find a yoga teacher training program that can help you do that, the more evolved you will be at holding inclusive space as an instructor. It's also the responsibility of the YTT program to have that type of training, because there's so many different lived experiences out there, and racism and white supremacy and ageism and ableism, all of those isms creep into the yoga space just as much as they creep into anywhere else. We can't just be oblivious to that nature. So it's important to find a YTT that literally has that in there and calls it out by name. Number 5 is you want to find a YTT program that utilizes trauma-sensitive training or trauma-sensitive languaging. Now that's very different from trauma-informed or trauma-responsive. If you can find one of those, that's even better. But trauma-sensitive is the basic, and that in itself is enough. There's so much that we want to be mindful of when we are teaching in terms of our languaging, and we want to be very sensitive to people's lived experiences. Certain spaces that we are choosing to teach in require we be more trauma-informed and trauma-responsive, whether you're teaching at a jail or you're teaching at a clinic or where there's people who are going through any type of rehabilitation or recovery. Some of those spaces require more trauma-responsive training. However, if you are teaching to more entry-level communities, trauma-sensitive languaging is going to go a long way. That includes being mindful of using specific pronouns, and avoid saying, hey guys, things like that. When you're speaking to different body parts, being very mindful, being very sensitive as to the different lived experiences. That goes a long way as an entry-level yoga instructor, and is going to continue to help you hold greater, more inclusive space for different bodies. So make sure you're looking for a YTT that has and speaks to trauma-sensitive languaging. Now I have a bonus tip that you can look for. This is going to be number 6, and that is look for testimonials. What do past students say about the YTT program that you are currently looking into and exploring? Look at testimonials. Look at what people have said in the past about these programs to really begin to find the program for you. Now, I told y'all to wait to the very end, and this is a shameless plug, but I'm gonna do it because I'm so proud of our YTT 200-hour yoga program. So last year, my team and I have a phenomenal team of facilitators, created the Kin yoga teacher training. This is the first non-performative yoga teacher training in that we focus on all the aspects of yoga, all the many facets, all the many lineages and the origins of it, not just asana. So you're getting a fully in-depth knowledge of the full practice. And we are currently accepting applications for our winter 2022 cohort, which starts March 1st. So if you are looking for a non-performative yoga teacher training program, I invite you to apply. We do require that people apply, and the application is fairly intensive. I'm just going to tell you, y'all, we are vetting as well to make sure that the students that we are choosing, that it's in alignment with the mission that we are trying to create, and that it works for both of us, that this is where we both want to be. It is a virtual 200 hours, so it can be done anywhere in the world, anywhere you are located. It is still very hands-on. There's a lot of quizzes, there's a final exam, there's homework, there's readings. It's a lot, y'all. It's a 2-month intensive, and it is going to stretch you in the best way possible if you're looking for that expansion. I invite you to click the link below to apply for this 200-hour certified yoga program, and we look forward to receiving your application. I'm super proud of what we've put together, and I'm even more proud of our phenomenal facilitators. I invite you to vet us. Head to the link below to look into who we are, learn about our program, read our testimonials, look into our facilitators, ask all of the questions, blow up the comment sections with questions, vet us, y'all, and continue to explore other 200-hour yoga teacher training programs. Ours might not be the right fit for you, but I guarantee there's one out there that is. Thank y'all so much for joining me, and I look forward to checking out your questions below. Continue to be well, and I'll see you real soon.